morning, everybody. I am Matt McCray with Chelsea Insurance Group. This is our weekly agent live stream. It is September 24th, 2018. I can't believe fall is already here. We're getting ready to move into the fourth quarter already. What a great year this has been for Chelsea Insurance Group, and I am just so pleased to be a part of this team and have every one of the agents that we have out there in the field doing this on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. We are just having a great year, so thank you for that. Moving into today's call, let's just touch base. A few notes here. Last week was a slow week for us as far as application counts. But we did have higher than usual monthly premiums, just slightly higher. So let's take a look here at what our premiums were. And we looked at, on the current month average premium, we bumped up a little bit again to $822.03. That makes our average monthly premium on our policy sales that, this is an accumulation of all policies, all of our final expense policies that are sold through our agency. And we run this tally on a month-to-date average, and we run it on a year-to-date average. So as you can see, September is lower for the year, but our average policy during September so far is $68.50, and our average year-to-date premium for monthly is $70.68. So, with that being said, what are some things that we can do to increase this? And really, my philosophy on it is, if we just talk about it, if this is something that we're talking about on our weekly calls on a weekly basis, and we're putting this information in front of you, so you can see what the other agents are doing. You'll know if you're bringing our average down, or if you're helping pull the average up, or you might be right there in the middle and you might be just doing the average policies. So with that being said, make sure you're utilizing the sheet that is in the presentation binder. You can find that on our website under the agent training and the documents, the presentation binder. There's one sheet in there that talks about the Social Security Administration, the estimated age that somebody is going to live to. So you can look at that sheet, and if you're sitting down with somebody, a male who is 60 years old, that sheet is going to give you the life expectancy of a male who is currently 60 years old. And you'll notice that that's going to bring him out to 74 or whatever the number is, 77 actually maybe. So the final column in that sheet shows you what the estimated cost of a funeral at that time is going to be. So that way there's no guessing how much insurance somebody's going to need. This tells you black and white based on their current age now, factoring in the Social Security Administration's life expectancy chart and the Funeral Association's projected funeral cost at that time. You can see how much insurance these people that you're meeting with are going to need. Just by using that one sheet alone, you should be able to increase your premiums on each one of your sales by, gosh, $20, $25, $30 per sale that you're making, just by using that one sheet. $30 more in commission, $30 more in premium on a monthly basis, that's almost $300 more of an advance commission to you, the agent. So, wow, that's just by using one sheet. So, today we're going to be talking about door knocking specifically, how to door knock your leads and get into more homes. So let me switch over here to this sheet. So we have a door knocking script, but before I go into the script, one of the things that I want to talk about is, properly being prepared, number one. So what are some of the things that you can do to properly be prepared when you're going to go door knocking? Number one is you should have a clipboard. Take your leads that you're working that day or that week or whatever it is, whatever best suits you, but get a clipboard. when you walk up to somebody's door and knock on their door, you should be carrying a clipboard. Another thing that you want is an ID badge. And as you can see here, if you're looking at the screen, you can see my ID badge. It just says Chelsea Insurance Group. It's got a picture of me and my name, my phone number, and then my Ohio insurance agent number. And then on the back, you know, here in Ohio, they provide a wallet-sized copy of our insurance license. So I print that out, and I put that right into the back of my ID badge. Put this around my neck, so when I show up at somebody's door, I'm wearing an ID badge. This makes me look official. And I'm not carrying a briefcase. I'm not carrying anything except for a clipboard with my leads on it. So those are the, really, when you're out door knocking, those are the two things that you're going to need. Now, another tool that's going to help you be more effective in your door knocking based on time is this. Here, let me just pull it up here. So you can see if you go to this website, www.drivingrouteplanner.com. As you can see, I'm going to pull that up right here on our screen here for the people for those of you that are watching the live stream. And I'm just going to do a demonstration on how this site works. So when you go to drivingrouteplanner.com, I'm going to click on Advanced User Version because this will allow me to put in a little bit. Let's see here. It allows me to put in a point of origin and a final destination. And I'm just going to use that as my office, 24 North Market Street, Troy, Ohio. And then we're going to click on Next. And as you can see here, I have gone ahead. Actually, I need to change this one. 1759. As you can see here, I have pre-populated. I have bulk address entry. So here, select how many addresses you have from the drop-down. So that's going to be 5 because that's what I've got. I've got 5 leads I want to go out and door knock today. So I'm going to enter those 5 addresses here. And you can copy and paste these, or you can just type them in one line at a time. You don't have to put the city. You don't have to put the state. Just put the physical street address and then a space and the zip code. So once you have those 5 programmed in, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to click on the Next button here. And that's just going to take a minute. And it's going to load up this next screen. It shows that you're on step 3, and it just confirms that it found each one of these addresses. So these are all good addresses. And then we're going to click on the Next button again. And here at step 4, it's going to show you, you can pick which route option do you want. Do you want to maybe start with a different one? You can tell it which one you want to start with or whatever. But this first one on the very top, it's going to be selected here. That's going to be for the shortest route. But it might not be the one that you want to start with. So maybe you want to start with this one here that was at 217. Either way, you select on here which one you want to start with. And then we're going to click on the Next button again. And right now what that's going to do, it's going to calculate your route. And here it is. It shows your route, numbering them in order of which area, which leads you're going to go, and you're going to, which way you're going to go. So what I would do is take this printer-friendly version, and when I click on this, it gives you another option. You can select map and directions, map only, directions only, stop sequences only without directions. So I'm going to choose the map and directions, and I'm going to click on open print window. And I don't think it's going to show this because this is a new pop-up screen, but it's just going to pop that open on a new window. It's going to be printer friendly where you can print it out, and it's going to show you a copy of the map. And then below the map, it's going to give you turn-by-turn instructions. I believe if I click on Next, yeah, it's not going to show it on here. I was trying to show that on here on your screen. But once you get to that, it will pop up in a new window, and it's going to give you the driving instructions So you just print that out, you put it on, bring it in the car with you, put it on your clipboard or whatever, and just start going knocking on doors. So, let me get back over here. So once you've got your map and you know the order that you're going to go in, now you can be much more effective. But what do you do next? Well, you get all your stuff, you get in the car, and you're going to go out and you're going to start following that map. You're going to show up to people's homes and you're going to knock on your door. We're going to go into exactly what you say here in just a minute. No, we're going to do that now. We're going to do that now. So let me switch over here to the PDF screen here again. And this is our door knocking script. So now it doesn't matter if you're working, whether it's telemarketed leads, whether it's direct mail leads, you're basically going to do the same thing. And what you're going to do here is, number one, just remember, you're not going to sell a policy at the door. That's not the idea. You have one of two goals. Goal number one is to, once you knock on the door and they answer the door and you start having a conversation, your only goal at this point is to get yourself into the home. Goal number two, if goal number one doesn't work out, is to schedule an appointment for the next couple of days where you can come back at a more convenient time. But goal one, your very first goal, is to just get into their home while you're already here now, today. Let's go in. It'll take a few minutes. Let's get into the door now. One other tip. When you park your car, I know one thing that works really good is to leave your car in the driveway, leave the car running, leave your car door open. As soon as you get out of the car, grab your clipboard, throw your hand up and wave in case they're watching out the window to see who just pulled in their driveway. That way they think that they think that you saw them looking, and there's a much better chance of them opening the door. There's a much better chance of them opening the door if they think that you're just going to be there for a minute. You walk up, you've got an ID badge, you're just holding a clipboard, and you've got the car running in the driveway still. So those are some tips that's going to just give you a better chance at them opening the door. So now that they've opened the door, here's the script and what we're going to talk about. So, and you can follow along right here, just listen, but here's the first section. Here's the first thing that's going to happen. You're going to say, hi, and now if a female was the one that was the lead was for, you know, maybe it's Betty, or maybe on the lead it's Johnny. But if it is Betty on your lead card and a female opens the door, then you're going to say, hi, Betty. My name is Matt, and you recently spoke with someone from our office about the burial insurance program, and they sent me out to visit with you for a few minutes. Do you have a couple of minutes to visit? Now, based on you stating that, there's going to be a couple of different things that could happen. And before that, let's say that the lead was for Betty, but it's a male that opens the door. And you're basically going to say the same thing, except for you maybe going to ask for Betty. Hi, is Betty home? Or just have a conversation with the person who answered the door. Let them know that Betty had filled out a card. Find out if she's home or she had talked to somebody in our office. Either way. So, I said there was a couple of possibilities. So now we're going to look at possibility number one. Look at this desire. Come on in, sure. So they're going to proceed to go in and start asking some questions. If they say, come on in, you know, that you achieved goal one and didn't even take anything but knock on the door and saying, you know, that very first sentence that you said. You achieved your goal. Now what you'll need to do is say, okay, let me run out to my car. I'll just turn my car off because I do have it running. Run out and stop your car, and then you're going to come back up to the door. You're going to walk in. And you're going to start off with some small talk. You know, how long have you been? How long have you lived here? Are you originally from around here? Is all of your family still in the area? You know, questions like that. You're going to start building some rapport. You're going to start getting some very relevant questions. You know, find out if they have nearby family, etc. So at this point of the stage, it's very important to find a common point of interest. Once you've found a common point of interest, whether they're, maybe they're not originally from here and they're from, a town that's an hour away and you're from that same town, or whatever the common point of interest is, that's typically a great time for you to say something back about that, just have a couple of sentences about that, and then move into the transition. Now, a good transition line is going to be something like this. I'm sure we could chat about, whatever it is all day, but I want to be respectful of your time. So let me tell you about what we do and how burial insurance works. And at that point, you're going to proceed into your presentation and you're going to start talking about the burial insurance. Now, that's the easy one. That was come on in. Now, possibility 2 is maybe Betty says, I don't remember speaking to anyone about that. And at this point, you would say, well, I know you probably get so many calls. Now, if this is a lead card, you can just show her the lead card where she signed it and sent it back in, and then you're going to move right into the transition of trying to get into the door again. But if this is a telemarketed lead, then you're going to say this right here. I know you probably get so many calls that you're not sure who you spoke to. That's why we set up a security password with you to help protect you and help you remember our call to you. Now, your security password was, let's see here, and you look at the lead and you say, oh, we got your favorite color, and yours is blue. And then what you do is you pause for a second to let them remember. And they're typically going to say, oh, yes, okay, I do remember that, and confirm that that is their color. And then you basically go right back into it. Do you have a couple of minutes to visit? The prospect at this point will say, come on in. And then you're going to go back through the same thing, and you're going to do the warm up. Go back to the warm up questions. But at that point, you're in the door. Now, possibility number 3 is the prospect says, I told them I already have insurance. And so what you're going to say at this point as the agent, instead of saying, oh, okay, you already have this covered, and putting your tail behind your, in between your leg and walking down back, getting your car and telling them to have a great day, it's not what you're going to do. If they already have insurance, this is where you got to be a little bit of a salesperson and just follow this. Say, okay, help me understand. You told them that you had insurance, and then what happened? So now we're asking them, okay, so you told them that you had insurance. How did the conversation go after that? Because if they said that they had insurance, then the telemarketer must have said something to get them to continue to go on with the conversation. So you should be able to do the same thing. So let's just get them talking. So let's say that the prospect said, after you asked them that, the prospect said they kept talking. Okay, well, at that point, you are going to start asking some questions about the current insurance. Well, who is that? Who is the insurance that you already have? Who is that through? How long have you had it? And then the prospect's going to start answering questions like, they have it through AARP or Colonial Penn or Physicians Mutual or Mutual of Omaha or another carrier. At this point, it doesn't really matter what carrier they say. You're going to say, great. Do you have the good one or the one that expires before you do? The prospect at that point is typically going to say, well, I don't know. You're going to come back with, well, I can help you out in one of 2 ways. The first way is if you still have a copy of your policy, I can review it for you and tell you which plan you have. The second way is that we call the company together and order another policy. If you have lost yours and get the details of your current plan, Now, which way works best for you? Do you have a couple of minutes? So they're going to say, you know, at this point, if you say the first way is if you still have a copy, or I can review it and tell you which plan you have. Do you still have a copy of your policy? And at this point, they're either going to say yes or no. Well, then, okay, if they do you have a couple of minutes? Let's go ahead and chit-chat about this now. If not, and they don't have a copy of it, say, well, let's call the company together. You want to do that now? Okay, so after all of this, if they simply say no at any time during any of this, then say, no problem. I will be back in the area the next 2 days, Tuesday or Wednesday. Which one is going to be a better time for me to visit? And if they find out what they say. If they say Tuesday or if they say Wednesday, it doesn't matter. It's great. Now, would morning or afternoon be better? And then what you do is once you figure out if it's mornings or afternoon, you set a specific time for you to be able to come back and have an appointment with them. Now, you're going to take one of your business cards and you're going to write the appointment time on the back of the business card. You're going to hand that to them. And then you're going to write the time of the appointment either on their mail card that they had mailed in, or you're going to write it down on this sheet that you printed out from the telemarketed lead. Either way, you're going to write it down. You're going to put it on your calendar. You're going to give them a business card where they've got it. They can put it on their calendar, and you can come back in the next day or two. So that's our basic, that's basically the training. And you can get this door knocking script in our back office, or if you want me to email it to you, simply shoot me an email to matt@chelseainsuranceGroup.com, and I'll be happy to email that door knocking script over to you so you can practice it. But that's one of the things you got to do. You've got to practice it. And you've got to just get out there and go start knocking on doors. Because let me tell you something. Out of all of the leads that you get, if you're getting, and I suggest you're getting 30 to 40 leads on a weekly basis of our telemarketed leads. You're going to have people that you can't get in touch with on the telephone. And no matter how good you are on the telephone, you're not going to be able to set appointments with all of the ones that you do talk to. Take those leads that you can't get hold of, and the ones that you can't get appointments set for, program them into that website that we talked about. You know, that website is drivingrouteplanner.com. Program those in there and go out and knock on doors. That's all you got to do. So that's the training for the day. One other thing that I wanted to talk about today is what is it? It's our lead delivery times. There were so many orders that were coming in. We did get a little bit backed up. I think I mentioned that last week because of the influx of all the orders that we're getting from Chelsea Insurance Group agents. We did get a little bit backed up. We do apologize for any lead delivery times that were out of the normal, but we are in the process of, we're almost caught back up. But you got to get the lead order in still at an early time. So order your leads as soon as possible. Typically, you want to order those Wednesday or Thursday for the following week. If you didn't get an order in at the end of last week, get the order in today. We could probably still get you some leads by the middle or the end of this week. At least you've got something to do at that point. And another thing, you can't just rely on telemarketed leads. Telemarketed leads are great, but you, the agent, have to have other lead sources. You have to have another way of getting in front of people. I suggest placing a direct mail lead order at any chance that you got. You know, $550 for a 1,000-piece mailer. You know, you're going to get 10, 12, 13. I can't tell you how many leads you're going to get, but you're going to get some leads from that. You blend those in, you mix them in with the telemarketing leads, and then you've got more stuff to do. You can order less telemarketing leads at that point if you start getting some direct mail leads in, or however you do it. But in order for you to be successful and to sell insurance, gosh, you got to get leads. You got to have leads. You have to have a stack of new, fresh leads to work on a weekly basis. So let's get our orders in. You can call Lee, you can call me, you can call Alan, you can just go right to the store, right online. We send out an email all the time with a link that you click on the link. You just pay for your leads right there. They're $10. Look at our direct mail lead vendors. Call them. Place an order of direct mail leads as well. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's move into the fourth quarter, which is starting here, what, a week from today. We're starting the fourth quarter of the year. Let's not only finish off the third quarter with the bang, let's have a great week this week and move into the fourth quarter of the year on a strong note. Let's finish this quarter out strong. Go get them. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us on our live stream and our agent call. And we will see you guys next week. And we're still sending out prayers and thoughts to all of you who were affected by Florence or who have family members that were affected by Florence. There's some really nasty flooding going on there. But thanks for everything that you do, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.